So how many times has the drink drive limit been reduced since it was first set in 1966? The answer is none.
You're watching The Ray Stuff. Thank you very much. With Larry Turner, Michael Obiora and our special guest, Home and Away star Ray Meagher. In a little while, Ray's going to take us through the rest of today's headlines. First, though, does the drink drive limit need to be cut from a pint and a half to just 1 pint for fellas, or from 3 small glasses of wine for the ladies to just 1? You can email your thoughts. Writestuff@5.tv is the address. And Kirsty, cold notwithstanding, we'll read some out in a bit. A 1 pint limit, that's 50 milligrams of alcohol per 100 mils of blood, as opposed to the 80 milligrams limit that we have at present. There's mounting pressure on us, you see, to fall in line with other EU countries. They have a 50 milligram limit in France, Germany and Portugal, I know. Our government wants to see a reduction in the number of road deaths, and road safety campaigners believe a further 50 lives could be saved if the threshold was reduced. But would a lower limit persuade anyone stupid enough to consider drink driving not to? I have my doubts. It might snare a few more borderline cases, I guess. And the Tories, by the way, they're not convinced we need to cut the drink drive limit. And as I said, neither am I. You see, the number of drink drive deaths in 1979 in this country was 1,640. And there's been a steady decline over the years to last year, where we had 430 people dying. And all of that has been achieved, more than 1,200 lives saved a year, all of that's been achieved without tinkering with the blood alcohol threshold. Campaigns and education have brought the death rate down, so why change tack now, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, do we have more drink driving cases or fatalities than other countries in the EU?
No, less, isn't it?
If we don't, then I don't see why we need to be brought in line with the rest of the EU.
Well, because now we signed the Lisbon Treaty, we're all one big, happy EU federal state family, aren't we?
I mean, and as you say...
voting for it, don't you? Oh, no, we didn't get the chance.
Exactly. Yeah. And as you say, you know, there's been a decline, you know, without having to tinker with it.
To be fair, in the last 10 years, it's been hovering just under the 500 to 450 all the time. And I think the campaigners are thinking, let's push on and cut the limit some more. Yeah.
Certainly what police seem to be more, as if not more concerned by, is drug driving than drink driving. Because at the moment there's an anomaly whereby police have to prove not just that somebody has got drugs in their system, but that it impaired their driving ability.
A logic, because people that smoke pot, it stays in the system for a month and it doesn't affect their driving for the whole month.
Well, personally, I wouldn't like to be driving home at 2 in the morning next to somebody who's had a couple of joints. I don't think it's safe. I think it affects your judgment.
But thinking and knowing are two different things.
Common sense says it affects your judgment. So that why you should be treated more leniently for being a drug driver than being a drink driver, I
think they've done endless tests that prove anyway, we're drifting, but they've done lots of tests which suggest that driving, stopping people driving because they've got marijuana in their system doesn't necessarily reflect that they have actually impaired driving at the time. It's been tested.
We could argue, and I could argue about
drink drive limits, though.
Anyway, well, I would say no. Don't change it. I think you concentrate on drug drivers. I think you concentrate on those people who are massively over the limit, because those people who tend to cause accidents are not half a glass of white wine over the limit. They are well over the limit. They are people who either don't care about the current law or have got some kind of alcohol problem, because normal people know that it's not safe to drive when they're drunk. So actually, I don't see how this is going to have a huge effect, apart from potentially criminalising people who are just a tiny bit, if they're going to lower, who would be quite illegal drivers now. And somehow you've got to target the really hardcore drinkers. How you do that, I don't know. Education has been very successful. Why don't we just do more of that?
OK. Ray, what's your take on this?
Well, I think you shouldn't keep comparing yourselves to other countries in the EU. I think basically you should compare yourselves to the epicentre of the world, Australia. And go back to that 0.05. It's been very successful over there.
Is that what you have then? So you have quite a tough line.
0.05, yeah. So it's a pint, and that's it. And I mean, in certain conditions, a pint could put you over the limit. You know, if you haven't eaten or whatever, or you're a slim build, or well, you know, that doesn't apply to me. But for people who are a slim build, a pint can put you over. So look, it works. It seems to work well there. People complain about it all the time. However, what you said in your opening is still pretty right. I mean, the lunatics who are going to get a skinful and then drive home are going to do that, whether it's 0.05 or 0.08, it doesn't really matter much.
Absolutely, and Larry's right. I think the hardcore element that do it, I don't know what you do.
Exactly, and you're dead right. I mean, educating people, I think those figures that you quoted also are all about education, letting people know, you know, what it means, basically.
OK. OK. Don't forget, you can email your thoughts on this. rightstuff@5.tv is the address. After the ads, though, it's Ray and the rest of today's headlines, including some very bad reviews for Tiger Woods as far as his ability to hide the sausage goes, anyway. And this is my favourite story, how the crispy pancake is making a comeback. More. Yeah! More after these important commercial announcements.
So according to the Daily Mail, how much could the bank bailout end up costing every family in the country? The answer is a whopping £40,000.
We've got a lot more on that coming for you in just a moment. You're watching The Right Stuff. We're live on 5 this Friday morning with Michael Obiora, Larry Turner and Home and Away's Ray Meagher. In a little while, go veggie, live longer. Latest research suggests a meat-free diet could add years to your life. So, are you nuts if you keep eating meat and fish? 0207, thank you. 0207 173 5555. First, though, the rest of today's headlines. And looks like, Ray, we've got a bit of Tiger Woods news.
Yes, Matthew, we have here in The Sun, keep it zipped, Rachel. Now, the first lover linked to Tiger Woods pulled out of a press conference last night amid claims that the golf superstar had bought her silence for $1 million.
Yeah.
Dollars,
yeah.
Yes, not pounds. But dollars isn't bad.
No, dollars ain't
when you're
bad.
talking millions. Yeah. So he bought a silence for that. Now, there's another...
She has, it's worth saying, she's always denied having an affair.
She has.
But it was fascinating that she should be holding a press conference with her lawyer, then suddenly cancel it. Does make my mind boggle, anyway.
Well, yes. Anybody else want to have a swing at that?
I don't know. I think, do you reckon maybe she's been... a tabloid is offering her more money
Who knows?
to do an exclusive later on, and if she does a press conference, it's going to lower the value. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's what I reckon.
We've had 3 alleged lovers coming out so far. When do we get 4?
Well, there is another one here, actually.
Go on.
Larry, do you want to have a crack at that
just
first
thinking,
bit?
we're going to have weeks of fun with this story,
We really
aren't
are.
we? We really are, yeah.
Now, there's another little bit. Now, I'm not sure whether this was number 2, 3, or, as you said, 4. Tiger is horrible in bed.
Oh.
Tiger Woods was rated horrible in bed by one of his lovers. It was revealed yesterday.
This is
Horrible in what way?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Unpleasant, nasty,
No,
useless,
I
what?
don't think he was abusive or argumentative or anything.
Just
I think she's
useless.
referring more to the technical side of the setup.
So his putting left something to be desired, did it?
I think so. But, you know, I mean, before we go too hard on this one, I'd like to ask Tiger what he thought of this Sheila. How good was she? Eh?
Is this the one with the surname Grubby or something?
I'm not sure. I haven't got that much. Yeah, could well be.
Oh, poor old Tiger.
Actually, it is. Her name is
that right?
Grub.
No, it's
It is
fantastic,
Matthew.
He's
isn't it?
neither poor nor old, Matthew. We don't need to feel sorry for him.
The reason I think everyone's having such a field day with it is he's just too perfect. And I think we all love a little, you know, to see someone who's been set up. No, maybe not. I think he has lived off the sort of perfect reputation. To see someone brought down to earth.
It is
Schadenfreude.
It is funny, isn't it, that sort of thing? I mean, this is a little different to the Tiger scenario, but when you see celebrities who sell their wedding story to the press and then beg for privacy when the divorce comes round, I find that, you know, a little bit incongruous, but anyway.
OK, apart from Tiger Woods, what else do we have?
Apart from Tiger Woods, we do have a Daily Telegraph story that the headline says, "Is it sexist to say you are like a trifle?" Now, a counsellor who compared a female colleague to a trifle has been forced to apologise for using sexist language. Now, he did. There is a quote here of the apology. Oh no, this is the alleged obscenity. "I do have to say, Councillor Edge, you are a bit like a trifle, very sweet and very lightweight." So there you go.
Well, they obviously don't have my mum's trifle. That's quite heavy.
I think this trifle's a bit of a storm in a teacup. I think the only person maligned here is the trifle.
Yeah. I mean, if they said you're a dick, you're a spotted dick, that would be slightly different, wouldn't it? Got away with that on daytime TV. Just. OK. Anything else?
Yes, what have we got here now? This guy showed a ton of ticker. "I wrote raid car reg in my blood." A quick-thinking landlord used the blood pouring out of his head to write down the registration of his attackers. So these guys burst into a hotel. This guy heard the news, came downstairs to see what was going on and got beaten with a crowbar and a few other nice little implements and went outside the pub to see these hoons driving away. And as the blood was dripping out of his head, 43B-2. How about that?
Yeah.
Eh? I bet you Tiger didn't do that when the golf club went through the back window.
That's a great tale. One more from you then, please. Sorry, you have a drink. You have a drink.
Sorry, I was finished.
Everybody else on the
no,
show
here's a ripper.
Ripper, read it.
Marriage held up by tweeting groom. Now, this is language completely foreign to me, I've got to say. It's about Twitters and all that sort of stuff. A groom has created a viral storm after interrupting his wedding to update his Facebook and Twitter accounts from the altar. I mean, did he love her or what? Did he love her or his phone? And I mean, what's a Twitter? What is a Twitter? Please, what's a Twitter?
We haven't
Social networking.
No?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it doesn't matter. I'll find out in another 40
it's what
years.
people do that have too much time on their hands. That's what you do if you've got too much time on your hands. At your own wedding. Larry, what have you got with it?